she never talked again to him, but he got her to breathe again.
And in the meantime, according to another cellmate, she suffered unspeakably.
He said a couple times he went in there and just put his hand over her face and nose to see if he could. He said, but she wouldn't die, like she didn't want to die.
According to another man housed with Wade, he even seemed to regard her suffering as an inconvenience for him.
And he said that she wouldn't eat is why he was hitting her with the belt stuff, trying to wake her up, but she wouldn't wake up.
Bit by bit, police are beginning to piece together the gut-wrenching reality of KJ's last days. While Wade claimed to have been attempting to feed her and care for her in her state of helplessness, this was a complete lie, and in fact, he was torturing her.
They got to the point where he was laying in bed one day, and he felt the need to take a torch that he had, and he said he burned her tongue, her clit, and her nipples, so that she would never feel arousal from another male again.
He said he even put her in a bathtub and dumped scalding hot water on her feet to see if she had any movement, and she wouldn't move, screaming with it. He said it was so hot that he boiled the water and dumped it on. He said it burnt his skin and everything right off of it.
Since she was not bothered by it no more, he had to take it a step further to show her that when she was in the wrong, she was in the wrong.
The informants say that this is precisely when Wade injured KJ to the point of her incapacitation and eventual death.
Well, he said no matter what he did to her, she had no movement, and eventually she just passed on her own.
Somehow, even after KJ's death, the hellish scene in Wade's apartment wasn't over. In fact, according to his cellmate, he wasn't even close to finished with KJ. It was then that Wade sunk to a low so unbelievable that his cellmate struggled to find the words.
He warmed the body up and have relations with it, or whatever you want to call it. That's just, I was like, geez, I wasn't trying to hear any of that, but I'm just, he's a monster.
Can we back up to that part? What do you mean he warmed the body up the head?
In the tub, he would run warm water and then cool it down with cold water after he did whatever he did with it.
And according to another informant, Wade shared sick details about his horrific actions openly.
He was like, it was kind of rough at first. But her jaw just eventually opened up, and I just took advantage of it before I had to chop her up. I was like, whoa.
Meanwhile, as this nightmarish scenario took place, Wade's next-door neighbor Sherry started to notice a foul odor drifting into her own apartment.
But then, over the last 2 weeks, he was standing there. I said, "What is that smell? It smells like something died. Like something's dead." I thought maybe an animal or something. And he goes, "Well, there's a mouse in my wall. Maybe it died." First it smelled like gas, and it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
It also seemed that the 5 or so weeks KJ's body was hidden in the coolers was no accident.
He was hoping that sitting in the totes for however long he kept her in there, that she would decompose enough that it would show the signs of the welts on her back and the bruising from him. Wade told you that? Yeah.
KJ's autopsy revealed multiple areas of bruising, including her chin, neck, and right ear. Her hyoid bone, situated at the top of the neck underneath the chin area, was fractured. This is considered a strong indicator of strangulation due to the rarity of fractures from other types of trauma. Ultimately, her death was ruled as a homicide by unspecified means.
He would sit and watch Criminal Minds and talk about, if I had it all, I wish I'd have watched this and I could have done it differently. The way he talked seemed like he has done it before.
According to his cellmates, it was Wade's total lack of remorse, even bragging, that set them off the most.
It's out there, man. He's just laughing about it, and he can talk about it like it's nothing to it. I mean, he jokes about it. He breaks out a police report and lets people, if you're interested in reading something that way, he'll let you read it. And it's beyond me. I mean, and he said he loves the girl. I mean, you don't love somebody and do this kind of stuff to him, man.
Right.
One cellmate explained that in addition to Wade's sick, unmerciful behavior, he was so proud of his actions that he felt he deserved notoriety. He nicknamed himself Chops, and he even hoped to write a book.
I know he sat there and he said, what would it really matter? Her parents and nobody wanted her.
Despite Wade's claims, KJ did have a family, one that was concerned about her well-being and wanted to see her be happy in life.
Somebody needs to stand up for that lady, Brett, you know? So she has family. And that's good to know, you know? But I don't know, I gotta get the emotional part of it, you know? I feel for that, and I feel for her family.
Yep, I completely agree, so do I.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I got to talk to you.
Sherry expressed her horror that she didn't see this coming.
I didn't think he could do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know people. I mean, Ted Bundy, look, everybody liked him too.
When Wade's case went to trial, the first two searches of Wade's apartment were deemed unconstitutional on the grounds that Wade may have felt threatened during his detainment. It was also discovered that police officers falsely claimed to notice an odor coming from Wade's apartment in their reports. These claims were later recanted. Although Wade's defense aimed to suppress evidence obtained as a result of these initial searches, the appellate court ultimately ruled against them, stating that the discovery of the coolers was inevitable with a warrant, which at that point was already justified. In 2023, Wade was convicted of murder in the second degree, as well as mutilation of a dead body. He pled no contest and was sentenced to 39 to 60 years in prison. But Wade's brutality didn't stop with KJ. He was also convicted of third-degree criminal conduct after assaulting a fellow inmate in 2020. Once he discovered that his cellmates had spoken to police, he attacked one of the men.
You mean attention? Yeah.
So random.
Why are you protecting this woman? That is the devil right there.
You don't believe I'm this horrible person, did you?
Yup, just yup.
When state police accompanied investigators from Child Services to a home in Texaco, New Mexico on July 22, 2022, they had no idea they were walking into a house of horrors.
That's sad, bro. It's a dungeon, bro.
Say please.
The woman who answered the door was Jamie Cushman. This isn't her first run-in with the CYFD, but this visit would eventually launch an investigation into one of the most shocking cases in all of New Mexico. Most of the following footage has never been seen before.
Oh no, I know. Okay. I had kids staying with me.
Cushman alleged that the person who reported her was someone she had a falling out with. For now, though, the police kept focused on inspecting the property.
Okay. So because of the condition this time, usually it's a whole lot better than this, so I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, like I said, I was in the hospital, so.
Was Laura not sick?
No.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna take some pictures. So and since it's going backwards, then we'll take some pictures and then we'll
But this is real. I mean, this is just.
But we're gonna take pictures of the whole house. You know, you're responsible for it.
Well, I know, but I do feel like this is super messy.
Yeah.
I mean, she was actually filling it with slides.
Yeah. And she's the only one that's sleeping in here.
Yeah, this is her. Well, you take pictures and then just take a look at kids.
Okay.
Do we look at
Yeah, she's walking.
They're right on.
Hey, can you stay with her? I'll stay with her.
The kitchen was extremely messy, with dirty dishes rendering the space nearly unusable. The bathrooms were an even worse mess, with mold growing on the tile around the shower and bathtub. There was no running water and the toilets were backed up. Portable toilets had been placed around the residence to compensate, though it appeared that none had been emptied recently as they were completely filled with waste. Needless to say, the house didn't pass inspection, but the evidence which would take the case from simply concerning to truly horrific was yet to be found. Cushman had been sharing this house not only with her own children, but her girlfriend, also named Jamie, her girlfriend's kids, and a 16-year-old girl who was not related. There was also another couple staying with them. But before investigators could get too far, Cushman attempted to pull a fast one with the authorities.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Did I have a bad standing with CYFD? I feel safe. Because I have a bad standing with CYFD.
Like in reference to like what? Like what's the standard?
Like she doesn't like me.
Okay. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, because she came out here and she took infant from me and we fought it in court.
Okay. Did you get that infant back?
No. It wasn't my infant.
Okay.
And she doesn't know mine. So
the one I'm walking around with?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't feel like I'm gonna get fair. Because I mean, in all honesty, you don't have to, I don't see anything wrong with my law. Do you?
I mean, there's stuff here and there, but I mean, no one's almost perfect.
It's safe to say that the investigators were, in fact, alarmed. They would seek to learn more about the baby later, but currently needed to focus on the situation at the house and the state of the children living there. After sending Cushman back inside the house, the investigators finally catch up with 14-year-old CK to ask her what had been going on.
I really need you to do this. I need you to talk to me about these things, okay? Because other people are telling us. So whether you just believe everything or not, we're still going to be involved. And you're the one who needs you to tell us the truth. You can look at his eyes this time and tell that he's scared. Yes. And he's never been afraid of us.
But this wasn't the only surprise investigators were in for, as a new party arrived on the scene while they were chatting with the kids.
That's just Laura. I thought she didn't live here anymore. She did it. She does it. She lives in Clovis.
What Laura was suddenly doing on the scene was anyone's guess. The specifics of why weren't needed for investigators to know that there was more going on than met the eye.
Okay this time. You don't look okay this time. It's okay. You don't have to be nervous. Remember last time? It was okay. I'm never going to be mean to you. You're not going to be in trouble for anything we talk about. Okay? You okay? Okay. And it's okay. She already told me. So we already know about it. People have already told us. You're not going to get in trouble. You don't have to talk about it. You're okay. You're okay. Is that good for him?
The horrifying details of what the children revealed would be learned later. For now, after speaking with the children, the officer and the child services investigator had to make a decision on how to move forward. What they came up with did not go over well with Cushman or her girlfriend Jamie Senna, who had rushed home from work when she heard the police were there.
Based on the report we got, and the kids did confirm everything. So the kids were very forthcoming this time.
This is an interrogation tactic. By stating that the kids have told them everything this time, she makes it clear that she already knows what's going on, as this puts pressure on Cushman and Senna to say something that matches what the kids have said. What's most interesting here is that Cushman doesn't make any denials and doesn't ask what the kids have said. Based on the evidence gathered, the police returned a short time later with a search warrant for the Cushman property.
You guys doing what you said now? What you Cushman? Alright, I'll meet you get out. I don't know if you guys remember me from last time.
Yes, sir.
This is Sergeant Hernandez from Open State Police. We do have a search warrant. You guys have your cell phones. Those are all you can see, okay? But it's part of the search warrant. It's on the turn it on.
Can I tell something to you?
Yeah.
There's going to be a video smoke.
That's not my concern.
Okay.
That is not my concern. I know, trust me, the person that's going to be extracting the data is me. Okay? So that is not a part of our investigation. Whether there is or not, we don't care. I don't care. That is not our concern. That's not why we're here. That's not the data that we need. Okay? So we're only going to extract data that we need. That's it. I'll give them back to you.
Both phones were seized, along with the required passcodes, as the search warrant dictated. It's an interesting question of what would have happened if they'd refused to hand over their passcodes. Though the warrant technically required them to hand over this information, it cannot actually force them to comply. However, refusing could result in them being found in contempt of court. In theory, by disobeying the warrant, the court could put them in jail right then and there until they produced the passcode. With their phones in the hands of the police, the full scope of the horror would soon be revealed. And it was more deplorable than anyone could have expected, despite Cushman's apparently jovial attitude.
Do you guys have any questions for me or anything?
No, sir. Y'all just doing the job.
The police, however, did have a few more questions for Cushman.
Is it 357?
Yeah. It's what I got started.
Gotcha.
I wish I didn't know that before that. 'Cause, man, I was prepared for that kickback.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's fun.
But yeah, and because I wasn't wearing my earplugs right, the noise, I had my ears right for like a week.
Yep. So we'll just call you guys down there so you guys can pick them up.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll probably even just bring them to you if you're here.
Oh, you can call my phone, but it's
Just bring them here.
Small talk complete and the warrant served, the police took their leave, thanking Cushman for being so cooperative. As the police combed through Cushman and Senna's phones, they uncovered the unthinkable horrors that took place in that house and immediately asked Jamie Senna to come by the station to answer a few questions. What she ended up revealing was enough to shock even the most seasoned detectives. The following footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor, a licensed clinical psychologist, a licensed attorney, a former detective, a licensed polygraph examiner, and a former hostage negotiation commander and instructor.
Like I told you on the phone, just want to do some follow-up and kind of get status and stuff like that. First and foremost, you are here voluntarily.
Yes.
Okay, I know you said you have an attorney. You still want to speak with us, with you?
It's fine.
Okay. That's your name, arrest you.
The officers read Senna her Miranda rights, though she wasn't under arrest. Little did the officers know Senna was hiding more than one shocking secret, and she wasn't the only one listening in on this conversation.
How's everything been going since?
Just been working.
Been
I
working?
moved out of the house.
You moved out?
Just moved out.
You live there anymore? You still in a relationship with Amy? You guys split up? What was the reason for that?
I lost my kids. I don't know how you been broken.
In the past, Senna had also been in contact with CYFD due to conflicts with her older stepdaughter. This, combined with the horrors uncovered in Cushman's house, resulted in Senna losing custody of her children. The police also took this opportunity to ask what she knew of Cushman's children. Senna explained that RK and CK were Cushman's sister's biological children, but Cushman had taken custody soon after they were born. AB wasn't related to Cushman and had been placed with her by CYFD years ago when Cushman lived in Texas.
How old was he when you guys got him?
Jane got him when he was like 3, I think.
3? And he's 11 now? With you? Wow.
With her, yes.
With her?
Yes. I've only been living with Jamie for since like officially. Went in there, no down, since like March.
This year?
I haven't really.
In an exclusive interview with Iwu, a victim of Jamie Cushman named Jamie McDaniel shared there was some confusion on how AB came to be in Cushman's custody.
So how she was able to bring another child into the home, no idea. But Texas was like, hey, this kid needs help, take him. She didn't go through the formal CPS. It was a phone call, hey, I'm getting taken to jail. Will you come get my kid? Cushman said, yep, you're right there. CPS let her leave with her. That was the end of it. Sweetest kid. He was loving. Oh my gosh. He wanted to be held. He wanted to be cuddled. And of course, Cushman always wanted a boy. So at first, this was like answer to her prayer. He got everything he wanted. He got his own room. We bought so many clothes and toys for this kid. Very, very quickly, the problems became too much for her. He was defiant. He wouldn't potty train correctly. He wanted to eat all the time. So when he got to this house where she was willing to give him anything and everything he wanted, of course he's going to eat all the time. He's a kid. He's not going to stop and think, oh, well, maybe this is too much. So he would eat to the point where he made himself sick. Well, Cushman was like, nope, that's not good. So all of a sudden he was being punished. Nobody checked on him, not one time from the time he got to our home in Farwell till when he got picked up. Not one time did someone come to visit him and be like, hey, you're not even supposed to be in this state. Hey, you're not even supposed to be with this woman. That was never brought up. Tell me how a whole state lost this child.
Worse, according to McDaniel, Cushman had already been reported to CPS at the time she got custody of AB. This was massively worrying, especially considering what police knew about how AB had been treated. Senna might have been a recent addition to the house, but police suspected that she could be hiding more than one dark secret. They would uncover exactly what it was during their interview.
How were they fed? But the food, everyone had all the kids had the same amount of food.
Every dinner, every lunch, every meal, we had every single food group.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they had, you know those little trays that they had at Walmart?
Mm-hmm.
They have the food.
Yes, sections.
Yeah, all those were always full.
What was the situation?
It was always redirecting. And so, like I told the lawyer, it's redirect, over and over and over. Time out to the room. And if it ended up screaming, kicking, fighting, then they get a spanking, but not hard, not excessive, not like, oh my gosh, you know.
Who would do this?
Jamie.
Would you do this? What kind of discipline would you do?
10 minutes.
10 months.
And every once in a while, yes, I did. Like with my son, if he started kicking and screaming, I would pat him on the nose.
Though Senna portrayed what she thought was a rather favorable image of the children at home, the appalling reality was a far cry from it. This truth surfaced during the search conducted by the police at the Cushman residence.
Mexico State Police, we have a search warrant. We have a search warrant. Mexico State Police, come to the door.
State Police, search warrant!
Mexico State Police, we have a search warrant. Come to the door.
When their announcements went unanswered, police entered the residence anyway. Despite the officer's suspicions, no one was found in the residence. Just as before, however, emaciated dogs were running free all over the property, and police had to take extra care to make sure that none of them were aggressive. One of the first things the police probably noticed was how different the inside of the house appeared compared to the previous visit.
State Police, search warrant! Clear? Clear.
No, you screwed us back. Yeah.
Anybody clear over here?
Yeah.
State Police, search warrant!
Dirty dishes were no longer overflowing from the sink. The toilets were empty, and the water was back on. A former friend of the Cushman family, however, was able to offer a theory on the matter. Matthew came forward to talk to the police once he heard on the news that Cushman was being investigated. He'd reported Cushman to CYFD multiple times, starting around 2014, 8 years earlier than what was happening now. But none of his efforts ever led to a formal investigation. His theory about why nothing ever happened was highly concerning.
You call CPS or CPS better call on them, they get a heads up somehow. And Jamie and Laura get a heads up somehow on CPS through whoever, I don't know, if it was law enforcement who lets them know, or...
How do you know that?
Because the time I called, kids would clean up everything, and she'd get them all dressed up in matching outfits.
Unfortunately, state police would discover that this was only one example of how local law enforcement had failed to capture evidence of the children's suffering until it was too late.
The head of the alligator just like they're beating me. their room, and if they try to get out, it's going to be kind of alarmed. That sounds like to me like a kid who's getting out of that. So random. I guarantee they were up to something. Yep. Think you'll be giving us a 48? Sure. Will you hold that up if I don't get your picture? Oh, yeah.
After finding the chains next to the beds, the investigators might have thought they'd already discovered the worst of the suffering. But this was just the beginning, and they never could have guessed just how inhumane some of the children's treatment had been. Police found more chains and padlocks secreted away in a drawer beside Cushman and Senna's bed. It seemed that with every room they searched, more disturbing evidence was unearthed.
See the other one?
Oh, yeah. The other one right here.
And then...
See me right here? All right, let's go.
When investigators eventually confronted Senna with these sickening details, she revealed a surprise of her own.
The chains, the alarms.
What was that for?
Just because Jamie has said that he has gotten out of the house and broke into neighbors' houses. So it's an alarm they put on him, but the pin pulls out real quick, and they have free range of the entire house.
Typically, children with such severe behavioral problems have been mistreated, especially if they're under 12 years of age.
I don't know how to explain it, but there's the black box, okay? And then the chain goes on their ankle, and the little pin goes into the black box. The second that pin pops out, the alarm screams. But they have free range everywhere. They're not.
Was CWIFT aware of that?
As far as I know when they came in January, they saw them. They never said anything about it.
Were they aware of how they were being used?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know all of that.
Though Senna didn't yet seem to realize it, she just implicated herself in the awful happenings inside the house. While executing the search warrant, police had found the so-called screamers that Senna was talking about.
That's so warm.
Did you videotape it?
Yeah, we do.
There's a little thing that comes off to...
So they won't leave? They know when they leave?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Horrible, man. That's not right for children. Or any person for that matter.
The police found more chains and screamers beside every bed in the room. Back with Senna, the chains weren't the only thing police planned to confront her about.
So if CYD would come, because let's be real, that house was not the best, cleanest house ever. It was always dirty.
This is unsafe.
You got the recording?
Yeah.
Crazy in here, dude. What's up with that door?
Huh?
And every time CYD showed up, you guys would start picking it up, correct?
I was.
Who would she call to give her time to pick up the house?
I don't know.
In addition to more evidence of the callous disregard and treatment of the children, the police also found a strange area attached to the laundry room at the Cushman residence.
Oh. What? It just leads back. It just leads back here. What? I'm good.
Nothing relevant was found in this strange area, but it was a different story entirely when they searched the backyard.
It's behind.
Yeah, there's an AC on this side.
This small structure would become very important to the case soon enough.
Hey, police!
Those who tried to report this terrible mistreatment of the children.
And I just started freaking out. If you're not arresting me, get me the out of here. I'm about to freak out, dude.
This is the exact moment Fonte Bulow realized his life would change forever.
Oh my God, I'm freaking out! How'd she do that, man? That is so selfish. Please wake up. Wake up.
On March 31st, 2017, when dispatch in the small town of Dubuque, Iowa received a frantic 911 call early in the morning, it was immediately clear that something was horribly wrong. What transpired would result in a truly shocking and controversial case. A series of EWU exclusive, never-before-heard interviews shed new light, and we conducted our own investigation to uncover even more twists at the end of this unbelievable case.
Answer the phone! 911! Answer the phone! Hey, I need a cab! I need an 871 can right now! I got a suspect stab right now, please! Okay, please! Okay, 870 can! 870 can! 870 can! 870 can! Okay, listen, please! Please! You answer my question! Where are they stabbed? It doesn't matter! Tell me! 870 can! In the stomach! Come on, man! Tell him! Stop talking to me and tell him! Stop yelling! You need to stop! Wait! Why are you still to my call ticket? What are you doing? You won't answer any of my questions. What? Oh my God, yes. 314. What's the question? What's so important? How old is he? Is he conscious? Is he breathing? Get over here! You tell me if she's breathing. We scared. Help is on the way. Help has been on that's the all I need to hear. Thank you. No, listen. Okay. Is she in the kitchen, bedroom, living room? Where's she at in the house? In the living room. Right now, in the living room. Is she asleep right now? Yeah. Is she breathing? Dude, I'm not. Please get here. God damn it. They're coming. I gotta get here. Get here. But listen, if she stops breathing.
The dispatcher can only relay the bare minimum to her officers, so when they arrive at 870 Kane Street, they have no idea what they're walking into. However, the few details given to dispatch were not the full story, and everything is not at all what it seems. The following footage has never been seen before. It's been analyzed by a licensed professional counselor, a licensed clinical psychologist, a civil rights attorney, a former detective, a licensed polygraph examiner, and a former hostage negotiation commander and instructor, and a certified crime scene investigator, certified instructor for the State of Florida Commission on Criminal Justice Standards and Training, and a graduate in crime scene investigations for violent crimes.
My radio's not on. Police department! Before we got one foot check down. Police department, way in here! Watch the basement. Watch the basement.
When officers approach the kitchen, they're confronted with a gut-wrenching scene. 21-year-old Samantha Link was sprawled across her kitchen floor, unresponsive. And as they kneel beside Sam, they can't immediately find the source of her bleeding, and they can't find a pulse.
One party, code one, unresponsive female. I got enough in there. I'll start CPR. Get him in there real quick.
When CPR doesn't revive her, an officer sprints to his cruiser to retrieve his AED machine, which can deliver life-saving electric shocks to restart Sam's heart.
Here we come. Shock your foot. Okay, hold on. Don't touch patient. Press flashing shock button. Stand clear. Shock delivered.
While officers and other first responders swarm the kitchen, Sam's 25-year-old boyfriend, Fonte Bulow, who made the chaotic 911 call, is just outside and in the throes of a full-on meltdown. We spoke to Fonte ourselves in an EWU exclusive interview that you will hear later.
Dude, you're like, please get the ambulance here! I don't see anybody except you guys. Can you please get an ambulance? We have them on the way. Stand up. I thought you guys. Stand up. Stand up for it. Dude.
After what just happened, adrenaline has completely taken over. Before authorities can start any questioning, they know they'll have to wait until Fonte can compose himself. In the meantime, Fonte struggles to come to grips with what's happening.
Come on, man. Here, I will not resist. Can you tell me a different way? Just walk. I can't. Like, look, can you walk like this? Let's go. Not a bad guy. All right, so, good. No, dude, I'm not. All right, take a seat. I just see some. I hope you understand. I do. No, you don't. I don't have one quick charge. Hey, okay, relax. I'm gonna talk to you, okay? When, man? Right now. Is he dead? Come on, man. Is anybody hearing me? Do you know what's going on? Stop. Stay in the car. Stay in the car. I'm gonna talk to you, okay? She's getting help right now. Is she okay? Yes. Ambulance is here. Medical staff is here. Okay. She's okay. Thank you. Okay.
As Fonte gives police bits and pieces of information, a rough story starts to emerge. What started as a fun night out led to an alcohol-fueled spat between the couple.
I'm arguing with her, and it's the final straw. I'm like, dude, we're done. She's just like not trying to hear it because she never thought I would go that far, but it is, dude. It is. What am I looking like? Look right now. You know what I mean? Over with.
But soon, a simple argument escalated into the unthinkable.
So she's up there, and I'm like, I'm done. And she just stabbed herself in the stomach, dude.
She stabbed herself?
Yes.
Well, why did she stab herself, do you think?
Because she is upset with me.
One of the few clear things Fonte had been able to share over the 911 call was this.
Before I send any of my units in there, I need to know where the knife is, who stabbed them, if they're breathing. Do you know any of that?
Me and her, we're in an argument.
Okay.
She is depressed and stabbed herself. She is not right in the head.
In the chilling aftermath of the events that morning, detectives find themselves untangling a disturbing story, and they will soon uncover that it's far more twisted than things first appear. In 2017, Sam Link was working as a certified nursing assistant, helping families in need. She was a celebrated local soccer player and known amongst her friends as an outgoing person. Fonte was a football and basketball athlete throughout school and shared Sam's love of sports.
Everyone really loved Fonte, you know? Everyone gravitated towards him.
So I've known Fonte for almost 20 years. We met during our first week at Jefferson Junior High.
He's friendly and a very loving person.
In an exclusive interview with EWU, Fonte discussed the beginning of his relationship with Sam.
She was really nice, you know, she seemed really happy. It was easygoing, you know.
No one expected that a couple so full of life would end up in such a dark and terrifying situation. As first responders work to save Sam's life, police bring Fonte back to the station to answer a few questions.
At first I was just like, oh, it's just protocol. He was the only one on scene.
But once he's had a few moments alone to catch his breath, his behavior is curious, to say the least. However, this could be due to the fact that he's been assured Sam will be okay, and the first responders are doing everything in their power to save her. Regardless, his behavior comes off as disturbing.
I got blood on my shirt. Oh my God.
Fonte was read his Miranda rights while in the back of the police vehicle. and again before the questioning started, though he wasn't under arrest. It's important to remember that when police ask you to answer questions about an incident, even if you're an innocent bystander, to say that you want to talk to a lawyer before answering. If you ask for a lawyer, all questioning must stop. Officer Wall is tasked with watching Fonte while the detectives get ready to question him about what exactly happened before police arrived on the scene. Fonte launches into his story, eager to share every detail of the previous evening, up until these early morning hours. He explains an ongoing agreement that he has with Sam. Twice a week, on Thursdays and Saturdays, he goes out with friends. For reasons that will soon be revealed to police, Fonte prefers flying solo on these nights, leaving Sam back at home. But last night, Sam proposed a different idea.
She's like, well, you need to stay home and kick with me. I was like, alright, yeah, I can do that. I was like, well, what are we going to do then? Well, we go to the best person, chill in the hot tub. And I was like, okay, yeah, so we went there, chilling, got a bottle, having a good time.
But before long, their plans take a turn when Fonte gets a phone call from his friend, Ricky, who invited them to join him and other friends at the bar. Still dressed in their swimsuits and sweatpants, the two head out to one of Fonte's favorite haunts, a local bar called Easy Street. By all accounts, the outing had a great start. Fonte's sister spoke to us in an interview about that night.
I remember seeing them the night before. They had taken pictures and stuff, and they just were having a really good time.
But as the night progressed, cameras from Easy Street catch a glimpse of the ups and downs that evening. In between periods of obvious tension and physical distance, Sam and Fonte were seen taking photos together and kissing. While it's not clear what specific incident ignited the series of fights between Fonte and Sam, authorities learned there were two main points of contention: a conversation between Fonte and Sam, and a chat he had with another woman at the bar. And his friend Ricky elaborates in our interview.
At the beginning, everything was, for the most part, fun, fine. But as the night kind of continued, Sam had a couple episodes with the girl I was seeing at the time, and then one of her friends. I think it kind of originated just because Sam hadn't ever been introduced to them. And Fonte and I, we were just all having, casual conversations, and she got upset about it.
According to Madeline, the woman who spoke with Fonte, Sam allegedly started yelling at her, but Fonte stepped in and de-escalated the situation.
That goes down, and then it kind of just took off. I had a smoke with her. We come back in, and she goes in the bathroom, and the girl's like talking with her for like half hour. I was like, I thought you just hit. Like, she's ready to kill this girl. And I asked her what happened. Like, I didn't care. I was like, what turned the switch? She's like, it's nothing. And she gets all mad, leaves because I was asking her a question. She never wants to talk about nothing.
But from the sound of things, this incident may not have been the real problem at all. At some point in the evening, Sam apparently left the bar for a short time, only to come back with her sights set on Fonte. In our exclusive interview with Fonte, he explains what happened.
I tried calling her over and over, and she wouldn't pick up. And about 20 minutes later, she came back to the bar, and she just looked like significantly more intoxicated. Like I said, this was like a common thing when we went out.
When she returned, Fonte tells police that Sam asked him for the names of his ex-girlfriends.
The first thing I was like, do you really want to know that question? You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got nothing to hide, but like, you're drunk and you want to get pissed? You pull her aside and talk to her, you were still talking to her? Oh, hell yeah, she was making a scene. I was like, go outside. Yeah. You went outside and talked to her? Yeah. Man, she was not here. You know what I'm saying?
Fonte explains that the friction between them steadily worsened. Eventually, he says Sam grew heated and walked away, disappearing from the bar a second time. And according to Sam's older sister, this wasn't necessarily out of the norm for Sam.
She doesn't like confrontation. She doesn't want to argue. She doesn't want to fight. And so instead of fighting with him, she would leave. She wanted to settle down, and he didn't. And so they'd fight about that a lot.
I'm like, why are you spazzing over his bed? She's like, because I was blah, blah, and all this. She just, I don't know. She's not like that. Just when she drinks, where'd she go then? I don't know. But she left and then came
back in like 20 minutes. So,
were you texting her when she left?
no.
In an effort to confirm the events that night, police would soon gather more information from Fonte's cell phone. Information suggesting a slightly different version of events. But for now, he shares more context about his relationship with Sam.
She came back again because she is thinking, that's how she thinks, you know, she thinks I'm like doing, she came back trying to see if I was, well, this is what I think it was, but she came back trying to see if I was doing something.
You haven't done anything to make her not trust you at all? That, like,
No. This ain't a relationship. I've never cheated on her or any girl. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we got, like, a, you know, relationship like that. You know, I want you to know that. She just has trust issues, you know?
Fonte elaborated on his past troubles with Sam.
I've been with a jealous woman before, but this was just extraordinary. Like, I mean, anything at all. If someone said my name or anything, she just assumed that there was something going on. Whenever anyone came up to us, like, I was always introduced her as my girlfriend. There was never anything funny about that.
But arguing had become more and more common in Sam and Fonte's relationship lately.
You know, at the beginning, I was extremely happy for Fonte. I could see the happiness in his face. He would speak on it often. I'd say about a month or so though, before the incident, he did voice some concern and was thinking about breaking up with Sam.
But Fonte wasn't ready to throw in the towel just yet, so he did his best to keep the peace.
So she left the first time because she found out that about your past relationship.
Sure, yep.
Then she came back out of nowhere and came into the bar, ordered a drink like nothing happened. And then what happened?
And then, after that, we started arguing again. And I'm sorry, I'm a little fuzzy here. Either she gave me a ride, or I'm pretty sure she gave me a ride. Either that, or I got a ride from my buddies. I really, like...
You don't remember if you got a ride from her?
I can't remember. I will tell you it was either from her or one of my buddies. So it's one of those two. I'm not being shady.
Was she already in the house when you got there?
Man, this is hurting me right now, isn't it?
No, I'm just wondering. I just wanted to pick that up. So.
I know. It's really important.
Fonte's memory is fuzzy in other areas too. Even though he denied texting Sam when she left the bar that night, court documents reflect that he fired off at least 8 messages in a span of under 2 hours. He wrote, "You're doing dumb again trying to ruin us. Why? You're such a hypocrite. You think I didn't hear about you from your sis and her friends? Grow up, it was before us. You're pushing a good thing away. This is what I'm talking about. What if I did this? I'm by myself looking stupid, so I got 2 minutes and I'm leaving. Nobody knows where you are, like always. And finally, now this girl in my face talking how she win, because when she in the bathroom with her, you made me look like a fool." Sam never responds to Fonte's messages, but the two eventually reconnect. Around 2 a.m., the bar shuts its doors for the night, forcing the couple to head back home. And it's here that their quarreling reaches fever pitch, allegedly over Fonte's past relationships.
They're arguing, like, screaming. I've never, like, screamed at somebody like this since I was playing ball. You know what I mean? I'm gone. You know what I mean?
So why are you upset?
Because she's spazzing over nothing that matters. She's not letting it go, I'm drinking. That don't help. She's drinking. That's why she's even bringing this up, I'm just like, you gotta go. You gotta go. And she's like, I'm not going. I'm just like, no, you need to go right now. And she just starts getting in my face, starts pushing me. I'm like, I never put, like, hands, like, I can restrain a chick. Like, you swing on me, if it's a girl, I could easily catch your hand and your right hand, and what are you really gonna do?
Did she fall or
Yes.